Hello there, good evening and welcome to the National News Broadcast. I'm Niket Karunaratne.
And I'm Delanjali Ananda, and these are the top stories for tonight.
Water tariffs have been reduced. Parliamentarian Angajan Ramanathan and former parliamentarian Sarathi Dushmantha support the President. The President says that new laws will be introduced with regard to funerals. Anurakumara Disanayaka says that the taxes imposed on food, education and health will be removed under his government. The Samagi Janabala Vegaya is to start the President's mobile service to solve people's problems. The Election Commission says that the bill of regulating election expenses will be enforced. A fire that erupted in a building in South Korea killed 7 and injured over 12.
Now for those and other stories in detail. The National Water Supply and Drainage Board says that it has decided to reduce the water tariffs.
Now this decision has been taken following the reduction of the electricity bills. The board revealed these facts at a media briefing held to inform this decision. General Manager of Policy and Planning Julius Ikuge said that there is a 7% reduction for domestic consumers. He said that for hospitals the concession is 4.5%. He said that government schools, institutions and charity organizations a concession of 6.3% will be given. He added that under this system about 80% of the least consumer groups will have about 10% benefit. He further said that the consumers who use below 25 units per month will receive the most benefits. Assistant General Manager Suranjit said that there is a difference between domestic and commercial categories. He said that for the domestic category, only 60 rupees per unit is charged for the first 5 units. He said that it has now been reduced up to 50 rupees per unit. He further said that the charge of 80 rupees from 6 to 10 units has been reduced to 70. He added that in this manner, more benefits have been given for the consumers who use less than 25 units per month. He said that the board expects that all the consumers under this category will have considerable concessions.
Senior Vice President of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Parliamentarian Angajan Ramanathan, and former Acting General Secretary of Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Sarathi Dushmantha Mitrapala, have decided to extend their support to President Ranil Wickremesinghe. They met the President this morning to inform their decision. Angajan Ramanathan contested the Provincial Council election in 2013 under the SLFP and was elected to Northern Provincial Council. Later in 2020 general election, he was elected to the Parliament from the Jaffna district. Angajan Ramanathan now acts as the Parliament's Deputy Committee Chairman. Sarathi Dushmantha Mitrapala contested the general election 2015 from the Kegor district and entered the Parliament for the first time. During the past period, he has acted as the Acting General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and now is acting as a Central Committee member of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. After the meeting with the President, they expressed their views to media. Minister Nimasripala De Silva said that Dushmantha Mitrapala and Angajan Ramanathan are significant political characters. He said that they have a huge voter base in their respective districts. He said that they are also popular among the voters. Treasurer of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Lasan Talagiyavana, said that a large number of former SLFP members who later joined the Podujana Peramuna have now come back to the SLFP. Former Acting General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Sarathi Dushmantha Mitrapala, said that Ranil Wickremesinghe is the leader who saved the country at the time of crisis. He said that therefore our party supporters urge us to support President Ranil Wickremesinghe. He said that 9 to 95% of the SLFPP members are ready to support the President at the upcoming presidential election. Senior Vice President of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Angajan Ramanathan, said that Sri Lanka Freedom Party has officially announced its support to President Ranil Wickremesinghe in the upcoming presidential election. That he met President Ranil Wickremesinghe and discussed long-term issues that have affected the people in the north and the northeast. The President has acknowledged those matters.
President rushed with regard to funerals. The persons who were affected due to cremation of dead bodies of their loved ones during the COVID pandemic will be compensated. The President stated that a committee in this connection will be appointed. President Ranil Wickremesinghe made these remarks while attending the Puluwan Sri Lanka victory rally at Ahmed Fareed Stadium in Erevur, Batiklo. This afternoon, the rally saw a substantial turnout of people from the area, including Sinhalese, Tamils and Muslims who gathered to support President Wickremesinghe's candidacy and confirm his victory in the upcoming presidential election. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that when asked to take charge of the country, Sajith and Anura ran away. He asked whether such individuals can lead a country. He said that when people faced hardships, they turned their backs. The President said that he had just one seat in Parliament, yet he took on the responsibility because he saw the people's sufferings. He said that three-wheeler drivers couldn't even afford fuel to work. He added that did these leaders show any empathy? Instead, they now call me a traitor for stepping up when the country needed leadership. The President said that they accuse me of protecting thieves, but they never considered the people's sufferings. President Wickremesinghe further said that they claimed there was no money to ensure prosperity, but he provided the people with 3 times the amount of the Samurti grant through careful management. He said that they increased the number of beneficiaries from 1.6 million to 2.4 million, arranged meals for school children and raised the allowance for the elderly. Why didn't Sajith and Anura join him in carrying out these initiatives? If they felt wronged by the people of this country, they withheld their help. They didn't consider the people's problems, they only thought about themselves. He said that, so should the people vote for them? The President said that the forced cremation policy during the pandemic caused great distress to the Muslim community. We are now introducing a new law that will allow individuals to choose their preferred method: burial, cremation, or donating their body to medical research. Minister Ali Sabri will present this to the cabinet next week and we will have it gazetted. Why didn't Sajith or Anura propose such a bill? He added that it's not a financial matter but one that any MP could have brought forward. We will form a committee to compensate those affected by this issue. The President said that although this incident occurred under the previous government, the current administration has issued an apology to the Muslim community. He said that we must go further. We have only just begun this work and there's still much more to do. He said that to achieve this we need support. The President said that he negotiated with the International Monetary Fund and secured assistance from 17 countries. He further said that the government entered into an agreement with the IMF and if we break that agreement, we will lose the funding. He said that yet Sajith claims he will alter the agreement and Anura says the same. He said that if they do, the economy of this country will collapse again. Imagine rescuing someone from a river only for them to jump back in. Would that make sense? He said that we pulled this country out of crisis and now we must build a future, especially for the youth. He said that this is just the beginning and we must keep moving forward. Therefore, he urged everyone to think about the future and vote wisely to the gas cylinder. Meanwhile, President Ranil Wickremesinghe graced the convention of the National Congress as the chief guest today. It was held at the water park in Akkaraypattu. Minister Ali Sabri, parliamentarian ALM Ataullah, former Minister Daya Gamage and several others were present on this occasion.
Presidential candidate of Samagajana Balavegya, Sajith Premadas, says that he will start President's mobile service after becoming the President. He made these remarks participating at a rally held in Moratoa yesterday. The rally was held under the patronage of Sajith Premadasa at the Soisapura grounds in Moratuwa. Several Samaga Jana Balawega members and a crowd of general public were present at this occasion. Parliamentarian Tissatta Nayaka said that Anura Kumara Disanayaka is asking people's power to build the country. He was the Minister of Agriculture during Chandrika's government in 2000. He couldn't even build or renovate a single irrigational tank. That he says he will transform the government. In 2004, his party won 40 parliamentary seats. However, he couldn't introduce any progressive program for the benefit of the country. Parliamentarian Patali Champikaranamaka said that the Supreme Court has declared Mahinda Rajapaksa, Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Basil Rajapaksa are responsible for the bankrupt situation of the country. Now that they have filed Nama Rajapaksa as the candidate. He said that people voted for Pudujana Peramuna in 2019 having many hopes. He further said that, however, they all ruined the hopes of the general public and the country. Parliamentarian Dasar Jayasekara said that Anura Kumara Disanayaka says that they will grant police powers to the Kottasa Sabha at village level. Then the JVP henchmen in the relevant villages will become the persons who use the police power. This is what also Lal Kanta said recently. If Anura Kumara Disanayaka wins this election, there would be unruly groups control in the country at village level as in Bangladesh. Presidential candidate of the Samaga Jana Balawega, Sajith Premadasa says that a developed educational system will be set up in the country targeting the development of skills and talents of the youth. All the 10,000 government schools will be made smart schools. He said that each hospital in the country will be developed as a smart hospital. Support of the private entrepreneurs will be obtained to develop the market economy. The SJB will follow the middle path of democracy. Benefits of development and prosperity will be passed on to each individual in the society. The President's mobile service will be implemented again to solve the problems of the general public. The SJB government will come to the people at rural level to solve their problems.
Presidential candidate of the National People's Power, Anura Kumara Disanayaka, says that under an NPP government, all taxes imposed on food, education and health will be completely removed. He made these remarks addressing a rally held in Bandarakama yesterday. The rally was held under the patronage of Anura Kumara Disanayaka. Several National People's Power members and a crowd of the general public were present at this meeting. Executive Committee meeting member of the National People's Power, Nalinda Jayatissa, said that Thalata Atukorala and several others in the SJB have mentioned that Sajith Premadasa lacks leadership. He said that Sajith imagines if he were to speak in English, matters would be resolved easily. He added that Champika Ranavka criticized the leadership of Sajith Premadasa's actions earlier, but he was shameful enough to leave and rejoin Sajith. He said that Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca left the party and several others will do so because they know they cannot work with Sajith. He further said that at last Sajith will only be left with a few members.
කවුද මන්ත්‍රී කෙනෙක් ගියේ කියලා තිබුණා කවුරු ගියා සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාසගේ පක්ෂෙන් සජිත් නෑ යන්නේ නැහැ කියලා අපරිණතයි ඒ වගේම තමයි දැන් ඒ කඳවුරම කියනවා මෙහෙම අලතම කියනවා දූෂිත ලං කරගෙන ඉන්නේ ඇත්තනේ අර පොට්ටුවේ දූෂිතයි කියපු අය එක්කිනා දෙන්න ලං කර ගන්නවා
එකතු වෙලා ඉන්න ඔබ සමග
Performing actress Chamila Piris said that on the 21st of September, with the people's aspirations, Anura Kumara Disanayaka will be sworn in as the 9th executive president of this country. She said that former MPs and the existing people in power is on suspense and a stressful situation because they know they have done wrongdoings including corruption, and the new NPP government will punish them.
මිනිස්සුන්ට අසාධාරණයෙන් ලක් කරලා තියෙනවා මිනිස්සුන්ගේ දේවල් හොරකම් කරලා තියෙනවා මේ භූමියට වින කැඩලා තියෙනවා ඒ සියලු දෙනාට බග කියන්න වෙනවා ඔබටත් මටත් බග කියන්න වෙනවා මේ නීතිය ඉදිරියට එන්න වෙනවා අපේ දේවල් නැවත අපිට අත්පත් කරගන්න වෙනවා අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම
අපි රට හදනවා පියවරෙන් පියවර.
Presidential candidate of the National People's Power Anurakumara Dissanayake says that they are going to rebuild this country systematically. He said that when this country is rebuilt, people, especially the poor and vulnerable in the society, need to be looked after and given basic necessities. He said that therefore they have decided for those who are unable to afford food, healthcare and education, an allowance of more than 10,000 rupees will be provided. He added that this allowance is not for lifetime, it is given until this country stands up economically. He further said that the rest of the general public who are suffering from the economic burden will see a reduction of taxation to support their lives. He said that monetary allocations for these allowances will be taken from individuals and companies who evade taxes, which amounts to rupees 1.1 trillion.
Several leaders expressed their views regarding the presidential election and current political situation in the country. Presidential candidate Sarath Fonseca said that the racketeers, casino owners and tax evaders who gave money to Mahinda Rajapaksa has now joined with Sajith Premadasa and provide funds to him. Then how can thieves be caught when the thieves are with Sajith? And he left the SJB since their policies are not good for his political health. Presidential candidate Janaka Ratnayake said that the court has declared a verdict that there were economic killers in the country. However, they remain scot-free with the help of the political leaders.
The Election Commission says that the bill of regulating election expenses with regard to the amount of candidates' expenditure for election propaganda will be enforced. Elections Commissioner Saman Sri Ratnayake made these remarks at a discussion held in the auditorium of the Department of Government Information. Elections Commissioner Saman Sri Ratnayake said that all presidential candidates should present their income and expenditure reports to the Election Commission within 21 days after the election has been held. He said that any candidates who violates this would be taken judicial proceedings as per the provisions of the Act. He added that if the violator is the winning candidate, his win will be taken into consideration by the Supreme Court. He further said that even those who didn't win the election still have to submit their income and expenditure, and those who are unable to submit will be dealt with in the courts. He said that the Election Commission has decided that a candidate can spend up to 109 rupees maximum per voter. The Elections Commissioner said that this Income and Expenditure Act for the candidates was introduced for the equal treatment of presidential candidates. This act has a capability to change the sphere of politics in this country, he added.
අනිත් පැත්තෙන් මෙයාට මේ මුදල් ලැබුණේ කොහෙන්ද? ඒ නිසා තමයි අපි විධාන නියාමනය කියන පනත ගෙනාවේ විශ්වාස කරනවා මේ පනත පුංචි පනතක් වුණත් ලංකාවේ දේශපාලන සංස්කෘතිය ලොකු වෙනසක් කරන්න පුළුවන් හැකියාවක් මේකට තියෙනවා මේ අඩුපාඩු තියෙනවා.
Palestinian Ambassador Dr. Suhair M.H. Said met Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardene yesterday in a farewell party. The Palestinian envoy informed the Prime Minister regarding the current situation in his country. Then Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardene said that Sri Lanka will further stand for the rights of the Palestinian people. The Prime Minister also participated at a ceremony to accept the Buddha statue donated by White House Temple in China. The ceremony was held at the Dharmayatana Buddhist Center in the Bauddhaloka Avenue in Colombo. Chief incumbent of the Dharmayatana, Venerable L.A. Gunavansa Thera, delivered a special anusasana at this ceremony. Chinese Ambassador Shi Sheng Hong and several religious representatives of China and some others were present at this occasion.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe expressed his intention to implement recommendations from the Commission report led by former Chief Justice Prasad Deb on digitizing Sri Lanka's election system. The President made these remarks participating at the meeting held in Battaramulla yesterday. The IT professionals meeting was held at the Water's Edge Hotel in Battaramulla yesterday. The meeting, themed Coding the Nation's Future, featured a notable welcome by a robot named Pepper, developed using artificial intelligence. Senior digital development specialist from the World Bank, Siddharth Raja, delivered the keynote address. The President answers the questions raised by the individuals who are connected to the information technology sector.
What we have to do as a country is to ensure the people can eat, people can live, and the economy moves. The transformation is of technology. In this age, you cannot get ahead in the world without technology, whether you be a firm or whether you be a nation. And this is what we had to face. And I thought, and we came to an agreement, let's look at technology, embrace technology, and make that one of the fundamental pillars of our economic transformation. We identified some of the other areas which also require technology. One is basically modernizing agriculture. We have millions of acres in subsistence agriculture. Another 300,000 acres we can bring up to. We can also put into cultivation. Why don't we use that, modernize our agriculture, use the technology, and become an food exporting nation. Secondly, of course, tourism. Renewable energy, which we have in abundance, and also with that was the digital economy. We had two basic characteristics for the economy. One was the digitalization, other was the green economy. Both go hand in hand.
My question is, when will be the education system will change to the new world with the new technologies and the new syllabus, and also we have to go with the creativity part, not only the knowledge thing. So
we are looking at the education system for 2050. We start now. Putting education system into place is long, can take as much as 10 years, but it doesn't mean that you got to wait for 10 years for results. That's why I say we decide whether we start at the top or at the bottom. Tackle the A-level classes, tackle the tertiary, the training, the tertiary education, and look at the expansion of the universities and come down, because we have limited resource available in education. But as it goes along, and we hope there will be more non-governmental universities coming in either locally or from outside. The changes we start from next year, but it will take you about 10 years. You've got to train your teachers, you've got to train them, and you must bring English in to the system. So all that, but it doesn't mean that you have to wait for 10 years. We will, as I say, we'll take the part of the school system, part of the tertiary education, and part of the university systems.
Secretary to the Ministry of Transport and Highways, Engineer Ranjit Rupavahini, says that the reports published that it has been decided to cancel all non-updated driving license are false and baseless. At a press briefing held in the President's Media Centre today, he stressed that the government has not taken any such decision.
Secretary
to the Ministry of Transport and Highways, Engineer Ranjit Rupavahini, said that the digitization of all transport sector services is currently underway. He said that a new system will be introduced to update the information of nearly 2 million driving license holders who have not yet updated their licenses. He said that the entire update processes are expected to be completed by the end of this year. He added that starting from the 1st of January 2025, fines and on-the-spot penalties will be managed through this new system, which will require updated information for all driving licenses. He further said that we will soon implement a new method to update the information of nearly 2 million driving license holders who have not yet updated their details. He said that it is important to note that no new driving licenses will be issued, nor will existing licenses be cancelled. He said that reports suggesting otherwise are entirely false. Additionally, we plan to introduce the e-driving license within the first 6 months of 2025, he added.
Another group of lottery winners of the Development Lotteries Board were provided with their cash cheques recently. The ceremony was held at the Development Lotteries Board's main auditorium premises. Super winners, 2 million and 1 million winners, each district were provided with cheques at the ceremony. The sales dealers who sold the winning tickets were also awarded with the cheques and certificates. Additionally, winners of Adakotipati, Super Ball, Kapruka and Lagnavasana were also received with the cash prizes. The ceremony was held under the patronage of General Manager of the Development Lotteries Board, Anura Jayaratna, and with the participation of the management.
Now, the Ran Sivili Perahara of the Bellanvilla Asila Festival will parade the streets today. The Pavada Perahara paraded the streets yesterday. At the opening of the Perahara yesterday, there were a large number of people's representatives and public officials. The final Randoli Perahara of the Bellanvilla Asila Festival is to be held tomorrow. It will be telecast live from 9:30 p.m. by the national television. The Bellanvilla Asila Festival will end following the water cutting rituals and offering the Devadanaya the following day. And that's all the news from home. Stay tuned for foreign news after this break.
Prima Kutumi, Fantamai.
Media reported that 7 people were killed and a dozen were injured after fire broke out at a hotel in the South Korean city of Busan.
The authorities believe that the fire has occurred due to an electrical fault. The fire was first reported yesterday night as being due to an electrical fault. Police are investigating whether the hotel's managers were in any way negligent. The fire department's use of the air mattress is also being investigated, as a female victim caught the corner of the mattress as they landed, causing it to flip as a second male victim jumped.
Prima Kutumi, Fantamai.
And the Sri Lanka team that participated in the Under-20 World Championship Athletic Tournament will leave the country tomorrow.
The tournament will be held in the capital of Lima in Peru. About 90 junior athletes will take part in this event, representing 42 countries. 12 athletes are included in the Sri Lankan team under the leadership of Miron Vijay Singha. He will compete for the 100 meters running event and the 100 by 4 relay event. Other athletes are Dineth Weeraratne, Kaushal Pamel, Ayesh Mihiranga, Ayomal Akalanka, Tarusha Mendis, Sandun Kosala, Induvara Vidushan, Lesandu Arthavidu and Jitya Kirulu. Female athletes are Madhushani Herat and Jitma Vijay Singha. The tournament will be held from the 27th to the 31st of this month.
Cricketer Niroshan Dikwala, who is now under a ban, was called up to the disciplinary committee at the Sports Academy in Colombo. The statement has been recorded from him at this occasion. Niroshan Dikwala has been subjected to a ban under the charge of using steroids during the Lanka Premier League cricket tournament in 2024.
Prima Kutumi, Fantamai.
And that's all the news for tonight. Join us again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.